Hello, all of you. I'm here to make you understand the way we tend to decide out on our optional. Of course, it is ultimately your decision. And right now, we are all set to begin with our preparation of UPSC examination for 2023-24. You need to take up the understanding that optional is the only part of your civil services preparation that you have to choose. Rest all the things are imposed on you. So the decision has to be taken with all the parameters taken into consideration. I specialize in geography, so I very clearly deal up with that. I've pinpointed 5 aspects why geography should be your optional, or for that matter, why it is so that geography is one of the most consistent selected optional among the popular ones, and why it has got such high success rate with the never dying kind of support that the aspirants are having. The 5 points that I have jotted down basically will give you a perspective of why we should be thinking about geography as our optional. The most important thing which I believe in is its GS. When you are preparing for some 500 marks for your optional, you are actually preparing some 350 marks of your general studies. If you try to see your general studies paper, you have geography of world and society, you have got entire economic disaster management, environment, ecology in your main paper. And if I see the nature of the questions, which are also somewhere very hardcore geographic, like what is the jigsaw fit evidences of continent drift theory, festoons as island arcs. I mean, you are in the position of solving out such questions if geography is your optional. We certainly can sit and debate. There are other optionals also which do overlaps. I do agree to that. But the kind of overlap that geography is having with GS, no other optional can ever compete there. Environment, ecology, biodiversity, climate change, physical geography, world and India, along with socio-economic development, 3 topics of your general studies paper 1 prelims is geography. Apart from that, as I've said, main, we are having at least 2 paper. One, of course, when I say geography of world and society, we do have got few topics that relates to history. I'm not talking about that, but at least half of that paper and then the complete paper very clearly gives you that I'm preparing for 500 marks and I'm somewhere preparing 350 to 380 marks of general studies hand in hand. Come on, what else is the requirement for you to judge on? You are preparing for 500, you are saving time for that 350, 380 marks. So that overlap is very important thing. To continue on with that overlap, geography is a contemporary discipline. When I take up the contemporary discipline, you are taking up all the current affairs, and I very clearly say all the current affairs overlapping with geography, in sense that I'm preparing agriculture of India. It's a topic in our paper 2 syllabus of geography optional, and it is definitely overlapping with your land reforms, agricultural policies, etc. of your general studies. Now you try to think about it. Are you not supposed to prepare it with the updation? As in, last year program policy will be different from this year program policy. Will I be in the position of writing the answer on Indian agriculture without updating the policy program challenges that has evolved? That makes it somewhere much more compatible to your civil services preparation, and you have got all the analysis on the UPSC information board. You can see it for yourself, because I'm dealing with geography and thus I'm praising it. Should not be I'm not here to give you any misleading information. The first 2 things definitely are the reason that we have got this as our optional, one of the most consistent player, unlike the other optionals, which, because we are at the verge of having the results declared of the UPSC examination. Hypothetically, topper is of XYZ optional, and then few of us, not all of us, few of us, 5, 10, 20% student simply get drifted away. अच्छा ये वाला optional इस बार successful है, चलो हम ये वाला optional लेते हैं. It doesn't work that way. You have to be very clear that this is the decision making job that you are looking in for. You want to go for decision making, and in the UPSC preparation and the examination, optional is the only decision that you have to take. Rest all is imposed on you, as I said few minutes back. So you have to be very clear that I have taken this decision. these are the rational basis on which I've taken this decision, and I need to stick by it. Because you need to understand that what has worked for one may not work for me. There are three important things that I have added in addition to it. When I say it is applied, you are in your service. You have qualified the examination. Is it not that geography, and it's my very prominent and repeated statement, geography is everything and everything is geography. Geography deals with the physical human environment. It talks about interactive link between them. You are a planner, you are a bureaucrat, you have been placed in any particular cadre. Won't you require the very basic knowledge of what is physical, human, cultural, economic environment? What kind of overall perspective of the interactive relations that communities have? Which type of cultural identity prevail where, to make you efficiently work as a planner, as a decision maker? That application makes it furthermore compatible to the entire process of selection and eventually your functioning as an efficient bureaucrat for sure. And then we are taking up these two with a star mark point, because ultimately it's a competitive examination and score do makes the difference. Geography is the most consistent player when it comes on to high score. We can easily see plus 300 marks among the top scorers and rank holders in this optional, which is nowhere to be matched with any other optional. It is scoring, and definitely all of you will agree to this. You have got general studies of 1000 marks. Scoring there goes on with 300, 400, 500. ऑप्शनल में आप 500 मार्क्स में से 300, 350 मार्क्स ले लेते हो, तो आप खुद से जस्टिफाई करें कि मेरिट डिटरमाइनर क्या है, ऑप्शनल है कि जनरल स्टडीज है. आप ऑप्शनल में बहुत आराम से उतना स्कोर जनरेट कर सकते हो जो जनरल स्टडीज के लिए थोड़ा सा अनप्रिडिक्टेबल होता है. Geography is the optional which has been the most paying when it comes on to the marks, and you can open up the record and try and see it. And the last thing that I have pinpointed why geography should be your optional is adaptive, and what exactly I want to make sense with adaptive. Of course, now the new education policy is demarcating out, it has shaded out the gap between humanities, commerce and science background. You can mix match. But all of us who will be appearing for coming 2, 3, 4 years, we are the outproduct of our old education policy, and we have got our segregated stream. I'm coming from humanities, I'm coming from commerce, I'm coming from science background. Mark it, make this point very clear. Whichsoever is your parent discipline, you have something that you already know about geography. All my toppers and the best scorers have been actually non-geographers. Their parent discipline was not geography. Engineers, medical practitioners, Yasharth, the topper in the last result, top scorer in geography from economics. I have plentiful examples to give you this. So it is very adaptive because it's a semi-scientific discipline. And when I again repeat that everything around you is geography, how you can be ignorant about it? I mean, even if it is not your optional, you are studying it. So it's always advisable to go about with it as a rational decision that works in your favor. Going further, I wanted to talk about, if geography selected, then why me? Why direction IAS? Why Neetu Singh? I've jotted down few important points which will help you understand why direction IAS or why me when you have decided geography as your optional. Now, the most important thing that you need to understand is that I stand here with more than 20 years of successful teaching experience, and I'm a trained geographer myself. So very clearly, I know what exactly is the requirement when it comes on to the academic nature of the subject. And number two, because of this 20 years of the experience, I know what exactly is required, not required when it comes on to civil services preparation. So that experience and my background definitely helps me to attain what I can proudly highlight as my achievement, thanks to all the students with their hard work, that I have been into the position of creating out successful legacy for me. And when I take up the reference of this very important point, the coordinated approach with a very different work ethics that I follow, it basically goes very strongly with. There is this suggestion given to us that we should select out the optional based on their length of the syllabus. I don't believe in that. So when you are decided with geography as your optional, what you need to be very cautiously understanding is that there is all about integration. I have been talking about it so many times. When it comes on to physical geography, they are different topics by default, but the nature of the questions that are coming up is integrated. So if A is teaching you physical geography, B is teaching you human geography, C is evaluating your test paper, D is giving you the question paper, I'm sorry to say you are not in the position of actually creating the understanding and awareness which is required to qualify this examination. As I say, my work ethics is different. It's basically going on with me taking all the classes, me taking your test, me taking your evaluation, me giving you the feedback, and precisely I can very proudly say I continue to be one of the most approachable teacher in the civil services training, wherein I develop an individualistic rapport with all my students. I know individually each of my student as what is their weakness and what is their strength, and I tried extremely hard to groom that up. And this is what is the testimony that my students have been giving to me. So I think this is sufficient for you to sit, relax, decide whether you should be opting for geography and opting for direction IAS with me, Neetu Singh. I think this is going to help you out. Bye-bye.